What is the first thing a lottery tells you when you win? You're probably most likely to hear it every time a lottery announces a new winner. Sign the back of the ticket! Some lotteries might even tell you to sign it right after buying it, but should you? This might be a weird devil's advocate sort of question to ask, but it's really important to know what legally happens once you put your name on the back of that ticket. Why are lotteries constantly driving the point home about signing the back of that slip of paper? Is there any reason why you shouldn't? In this video, we'll be going over what happens when a player signs the ticket, as well as some reasons why you should and might not sign the back of your lottery ticket if and when you win. So just as a disclaimer, Lottery Post is in no way, shape, or form telling players what to do with their tickets. It's ultimately up to you, the player, to decide what to do. A lot of what we're going to talk about is solely for the sake of presenting information from varying perspectives. You probably have your own personal preference, and the state you're playing in will likely impact the choices you make in the end. The goal of this video is not to convince you one way or another, but just to keep you informed by laying out all the facts as best as we can. So the question is, do you have to sign the back of the ticket if you win? The short answer is yes, but it depends. Every state in the US requires you to sign the back of your ticket to claim a prize over a certain amount, usually $600. Otherwise, you can turn in the ticket of lesser value at retailers without signing it. However, many lotteries even recommend signing the ticket as soon as you purchase it, so that in the case it gets lost, there's no question who it belongs to and you can protect yourself if you win. So that begs a couple more questions. Should you? Or who should you sign the ticket as? Before I go on any further, just a super quick reminder, if you have not already done so, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button and the bell to turn notifications on so you can be ready and in the know for when our next video comes out. Back to this video. First, let's go over why states require you to sign the back of the ticket and why they recommend it. The reason why they require it is simple. It verifies your identity and allows them to check that the right person is getting a prize. But if someone tried to turn in your ticket claiming to be you, would you want someone claiming your $1 million? No one can do that if their identity doesn't match what's on the back of your ticket. As for why they recommend it, Washington's lottery lays it out like this. Like currency or dollar bills, lottery tickets are bearer instruments in that the holder of the ticket is the owner unless the ticket is signed. By signing the back of your lottery ticket, you make that ticket officially yours. Only the person whose name matches the signature on the ticket may claim its winnings. So, in other words, anyone can pick up an unsigned ticket in the garbage can or laying on the street and claim it as their own. If a discarded or lost, unsigned ticket is a big winner, it would not be fraudulent or theft to simply pick it up and claim the prize. Another way to think about it is exactly how the Washington Lottery framed it. Like the phrases, see a penny, pick it up, and all the day you'll have good luck, or the more common one, finders keepers. You can pick $1 up off the street and have it in your possession, but it's also technically government property, or tender. The same goes for lottery tickets. As an example, earlier this year, a Tennessee player almost didn't get $1 million when he accidentally lost a winning ticket while out running errands. The ticket was not signed, so anybody walking by could have easily scooped it up, and it would have rightfully been theirs. Thankfully, the original purchaser of the ticket retraced his steps and found the winning ticket lying in a parking lot that he had visited earlier. The full story is pretty riveting, so if you want, I'll throw a link in the description where you can read up on it. However, there have been some instances where a ticket's ownership did come into question in that very same scenario. Back in 2005, a man named Edward St. John picked out a winning lottery ticket worth $1 million from the trash outside a convenience store. When the miracle story went public, a man named Kevin Donovan, who claimed he was the one who originally bought the ticket and merely misplaced it in the garbage, came forward, at first anonymously. He presented footage of him buying the ticket as proof. However, he suddenly died of a heart ailment and did not live long enough to see the final decision. Shortly after, the lottery remained steadfast and did in fact reject Donovan's original claim, saying that the lottery ticket was a bearer instrument, payable to whoever possesses and signs the back of it. Despite being denied the claim and Donovan's death, his family kept pushing to keep the winnings and sued St. John, contending that the ticket was instead lost. And since the garbage bin was not yet placed on the sidewalk for disposal, its contents were not yet in the public domain, so no different than if the ticket was sitting on a shelf. Framed that way, they were essentially accusing St. John of stealing a ticket out of a trash bin.
What?
But St. John was on the older side and Donovan's family was unrelenting. The lottery would not pay out the prize until the matter was settled, and at 83 years old, he didn't want to pass away without seeing a single cent of his rightful prize. He agreed to a settlement in which he would walk away with most of the prize and paid the family $140,000. For the sake of brevity, I had to cut out some details that really made the story even more interesting, so check out the description below for the full saga of events. Really, it's pretty crazy. So those are a couple stories that demonstrate the meaning of bearer's instrument. Now you might be thinking about grabbing your lottery tickets and signing them, but before you get out your pen, listen to this next one. Here is where it gets a little more complicated. Some players might remember a few years ago when a New Hampshire woman won a $560 million Powerball jackpot and sued the lottery to keep her anonymity. But New Hampshire does technically allow people to hide their identity from the public eye by claiming under a trust. So why didn't she just do that? Well, she made a big mistake. In fairness to her, the lottery tells players to sign the back of the ticket to secure it, and having just won $560 million, you might have found yourself in a state of panic too.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm!
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wanting to do the right thing, she had merely been following the directions of the New Hampshire lottery and immediately wrote out her own name on the back of the ticket. That was the big mistake. The moment she signed that little slip of paper, it officially became her ticket, claimable under her name only. Had she had consulted with an attorney first and not rushed to sign it, she could have formed a trust to collect her winnings anonymously and signed as the trust's designated trustee instead. But now that the ticket had already been signed, her options became very limited, and under New Hampshire's right to know law, the Lottery Commission would be forced to disclose records identifying the winner if a request for the information was filed. You can probably imagine that this is a huge deal for someone who had just won $500 million. Some of you might be wondering, why not just cross out your name? Well, sorry, unfortunately you can't do that either. The lottery told her that she was not allowed to white out her name from the back of the ticket since any alteration would invalidate it. Once that ticket is signed, it actually becomes a public document. Just as a side note, or just an interesting tidbit, Eddie Tipton was caught because he signed the back of the ticket and misspelled the LLC. If you want to hear a really crazy story, we did a video on that one too. The entire case turned into a matter of whether her right to privacy outweighed the lottery's government procedures and the public's right to transparency, sparking another debate about the right to claim lottery winnings anonymously. In the end, she was allowed to claim her winnings under a trust without making her name public, but the judge ordered that her hometown be made public knowledge. The judge argued that the Lottery Commission's argument that revealing her name to ensure the public that she was a real winner was not compelling enough, because a trustee claiming a prize on someone's behalf does not really constitute as a real winner either. So what do you think about that? Do you have any thoughts about that? Let us know in the comments what you think constitutes as a real winner below. Again, there are so many details that really enrich the story, so we highly recommend you check out the full timeline below in the description that can give you a much better understanding of what happened and why, if that is something that you are curious about. We just want to reiterate that we are in no way, shape, or form telling you what to do with your ticket. That is up to you to decide. A big factor that could really impact your decision if and when you win that huge jackpot is your state's take on anonymous claims. New Hampshire, for example, could allow you to claim under a trust, but maybe not in California, which does not allow winners to claim under a trust. We have a great thread on Lottery Post with a full list of states and their current rules on claiming anonymously, so I also put that link in the description for you so you can double check your state's rules and make a well-informed decision. No matter what you do, make sure you put that ticket in a safe place. It also doesn't hurt to consult an attorney either. Lots of links in the description today. Hopefully that was some good food for thought on whether you should sign the back of your ticket, and hopefully we could give you a few resources and interesting stories as well, but tell us what you would do. Maybe you want to consult a lawyer first, or maybe you want to brush up on your handwriting. So before you go ahead and click all those wonderful little links down in the description that I provided for you today, I know there are quite a few, make sure you hit that like button to let us know that you like what you saw, plus it really helps out our channel. Don't forget to also hit that big red subscribe button and the notification bell so you can have notifications turned on and you are ready for when our next video comes out. So from all of us at Lottery Post, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care.